Good evening, all of you. In our today's session, we will learn about the relation between roots or zeros of the quadratic polynomial with its coefficient. Also, we will discuss some examples and the way to find out the zeros or roots of the quadratic polynomial as well as its relation with their coefficient, right? So before we proceed, we'll learn some basics of the polynomial. We also had one session on it. You can go through uh, our one session, that is basics of the polynomial. You can find it on my channel, that is easy learning 1 to 3. So we all know that the general equation of the quadratic polynomial is ax square bx plus c, where x is the variable and a, b, c are their coefficients. So now, what are zero or roots of the polynomial? We all know, we also had one session on it. You can check and learn from that session also. So what is zero root of the polynomial? It is the value of the variable at which the value of the polynomial is 0, right? So this is one. Also, if I want to find, if I want from you to find the coefficients from the given quadratic equation, for example, I have one equation, that is 3x square minus 9x plus 18. So in this equation, try to find the coefficient. How to find it? Just compare it with the general equation, that is this one, like this: ax square plus bx plus c, compare with our given equation, right? So coefficient of x square on the LHS is a, and on the right hand side is 3. So a is 3, positive of 3, right? Similarly, b here is minus 9, it will be a minus 9, and c is 18. So this is the way to find and equate the coefficients of the given quadratic polynomial with the general equation in order to find the coefficients a, b, c. So how to find the roots or zeros of the quadratic polynomial? This is our second point of discussion. So we have already, I think you may have learned in your ninth, 8th or 7th grade, possibly it's a part of your 8th mathematics. So it can be find out the zeros or roots of the polynomial can be easily find out by the method of factorization, by splitting its middle term, that is coefficient of x, right? So for example, I am having one quadratic polynomial, that is x square plus 5x plus 6. So first step is, in order to find the 0, what we do, step 1 is put fx is equal to 0. So here I have put x square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. So split this term like this: x square plus 3x plus 2x plus 6, right? So how I done it? Why I didn't write 4x plus x? I can also write like this. Both will give you the same equation, because the multiplication of this should be equal to 6, that is 6 multiplied by coefficient of x square should be equal to 6 constant, and the coefficient of x square, if we multiply them, it should be a 6. So in here the coefficient of x should also be, if we multiply their coefficient after splitting, it should also be equal to 6. So that's the way to do it. Now x is common, x plus 3 plus 2, x plus 3 is equal to 0. So x plus 2, x plus 3 equals to 0. What are their zeros? X is equals to minus 2 and minus 3, right? These are the roots of the quadratic polynomial. Now, what is its physical significance? So, if I want you to draw the graph of this equation on a graph paper, that is on rectangular coordinate system, then the graph of this polynomial shall cut the x-axis at point minus 2, that is at minus 3, as well as at minus 2, right? So tell me whether it's the parabola or the graph of this polynomial open upwards or downwards. We have a detailed discussion on this also in our previous session. You can go through and learn the same. So please comment in the comment box whether it will be opening upward or downward, and it should pass through the coordinates minus 2 and minus 3, right? So either it will go like this, okay, or it can go like this. You have to tell me, right? So, so this is the physical significance. I will plot here. This is minus 3, this is minus 2. So right, so in here you get the roots of the equation is minus 2 and minus 3. So our next point of discussion is the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, that is x1 is minus 2 and x2 is minus 2. Now what is their sum? Their sum should be minus 5. And what about the product? Product should be minus 6, right? The product of the roots. Okay, this and this. Now, in order to find the relation between the sum of the roots with the coefficients of the quadratic polynomial, what we do, we first try to find the coefficients of given polynomial by equating it with the general equation like this. This a is equals to 1, b is equals to 5, c is equal to 6 is constant, right? So from here, if I write here the sum of the roots is minus 5 from this, so it will be like this. I say it is equal to minus b upon a. B is 5, minus is already there, and a is 1. So sum of roots is minus 5, which we are getting from our sum here. So if I generalize, is sum of the roots of the quadratic polynomial is minus b upon a. Or I can say, what is b? B is the coefficient of x. I can write coefficient of x divided by, what is a? A is the coefficient of x square. It's the coefficient of x square, right? So similarly, Please remember this. You can directly find out from this relation. Sum of the roots of the quadratic polynomial is equals to minus b upon a, or it is minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. Right. Similarly, what about the product of the roots? Product of the roots we are getting is, sorry, positive of 6. It's a positive of 6. Sorry. Cos minus minus is plus. It's a 6. 6 from the equation. It is c upon a. Or I must say, I generalize, it's a coefficient, not a coefficient, it's a constant term of the polynomial divided by coefficient of x square, right? So if in your 1 mark question, like in MCQ, if they may have asked you directly, that is, what is the sum of the root or product of the roots of the given equation? So from the equation you can directly find out by putting product of roots is equal to c upon a. So put the value of c from the equation and divide it by the coefficient of x square, right? Similarly, if sum of the roots is being asked in the question, it is equals to minus b upon a, which is the minus coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. So this is the way you can solve your MCQs, right? So now the next point of discussion is find the zeros of the polynomial and verify its relation with the coefficients of the polynomial. Now we will having one more example, that is x square plus 2 root 2x minus 6. So our first step is put fx is equals to 0 in order to find the roots of the polynomial. So minus 6 is equal to 0. So split the middle term so that we can get the product of the split term is equals to minus 6. So how, if I choose 2 root 2x minus root 2x minus 6 is equals to 0, if I multiply these terms, it should be equals to minus 6. So 3 root 2x multiplied by root 2, sorry, minus root 2, it should be root 2 is 2, it should be 2. So I am getting minus 6. So this is my right way of doing the logarithms. So this is, you can do it by having more and more practice. Try to solve more and more problems related to this quadratic polynomial. So next step is x, get the x common. From here you get minus root 2 common, so it is x root, sorry, it's 3 root 2 equals to 0. I think it's right. X minus root 2, x plus 3 root 2 is equals to 0. So what are the zeros? Zeros are x is equals to root 2 and minus 3 root 2. These are the zeros of the polynomial. Now if I say verify its relation, second part of the question is verify its relation with the coefficient of the polynomial, that is sum of the roots. Sum of the roots is equal to, we have already learned, sum of the roots is minus b upon a. It should be equal to minus b upon a. So what is minus b? Minus b is, b means coefficient of x, which is 2 root 2. It is 2 root 2, positive of the 2 root 2. Minus is natural and a is 1. From here, first find, you can write it separately so that should be no confusion. A is minus 6. So b is minus 2 root 2. So from this, this is what are you getting? It should be equal to minus 2 root 2. Let's verify our result. Sum of the roots we are getting is root 2 plus of minus 3 root 2. That is, I have added both the roots. That is sum of roots. Minus 3 root 2 plus root 2 is equals to minus 2 root 2, because 3 root 2 is bigger than root 2. That's why it's a negative sign. So we are getting the same result. What about the product of the roots? Product of roots is equals to c upon a. You can check it. This is c upon a. Is constant term and is coefficient of x square. What is c? C here is minus 6 and a is 1. So we are getting product of roots is equal to 6. From this, if I multiply both the roots, we are getting 3 root 2 multiplied by root 2 is minus 6. So we are getting the same result. So this is the way to solve these kind of questions. We have verified the result. I hope this session is helpful for you. So our next question is f of x is equals to a in bracket x square plus 1 minus of x bracket में a square plus 1. So first step is put fx is equals to 0, and next part is open up the bracket like this, ax square plus 1 minus of x a square plus 1 is equals to 0. Now open up the bracket, ax square plus a minus of a square x minus x is equals to 0. So arrange the terms like this. I'm getting ax square and get the x term common, that is a square plus 1 plus a. So a is constant in the equation. So this is the equation we are getting. Now how to find the roots? By method of splitting split the middle term in such a way that you get only a square, because if we multiply the constant with the coefficient of a x square, that is a multiplied by a is a square. So split it so that you get only a square. So how will you do it? Okay, this is for your exercise. If you are not able to solve this question, just if you have any query, if you are not able to solve this question, then just let me know in the comment box. I will solve it for you. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.